Tim, thanks so much for joining me today. It's great to have Beige Resources on board to share the latest news and info that's coming from the company. So Tim, that said, I'd really like to hear from you in terms of what actually has your attention today.
I mean, I guess the key things for us at the moment are looking at Kenya first. Obviously we've got the Kwale operation, that's the engine room for the business. Focus for us is on extending the mine life now. We've got an extremely high-performing operation that's very consistent, but we're now starting to head towards the tail end of the current ore body. The focus is trying to find additional ore sources. So we've got a pre-feasibility study underway on what we call the North Dune. That's due for delivery in the first quarter of 2021. And we've also got a couple of target areas immediately near mine that we're looking to get some drill holes into over the next 12 months. Looking further afield, we've actually expanded our footprint in Kenya and have identified some additional areas of interest that we're pretty excited about, actually, one in particular. So we'll continue to unwrap that over the next year or so and really capitalise on the position we've established in Kenya. And then the other focus for us is getting Toliara up and moving in Madagascar. We've done a lot of good work on that project. We're pretty excited about it simply because it's the ore body is like Kwale times 10 in terms of scale and very high grade. So we got the definitive feasibility study out in December last year, and the focus for us right now is on trying to nail down fiscal terms with government and get stability around those fiscal terms. As a real key catalyst for us to start heading towards a final investment decision.
Awesome, Tim.
Plenty keeping us occupied in East Africa.
So, Tim, I'm interested to hear how COVID-19 has or hasn't impacted the business, and with that in mind, what are the key objectives that you're looking to achieve in 2021?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the COVID impact on the Kwale operation, we've been able to adapt quite effectively to sort of manage the balance between government regulation, our business needs, employee and community health. And as a consequence of that, we've been able to maintain production levels at exactly normal. So we achieved the high end of production guidance for financial 2020. The focus for us is just being able to maintain that, and given the trajectory that Kenya seems to be on from a COVID perspective, we're increasingly confident that we're going to be able to maintain that. Toliara has been a little bit different in that it has slowed us down in that we had to bring our expatriate team out. The suspension of activity while we're negotiating with government on fiscal terms, that's a critical, as I said, a critical step for us. But with the government focused on COVID, those discussions are moving slower than we would like. And then the next challenge is when the travel restrictions imposed by COVID start to lift so that we can start getting people back into country is another key factor for us. And then beyond that, in 2021 is what sort of state of the financing market's going to be in terms of debt to be able to move Toliara towards construction. So probably a bigger impact on Toliara progression than on Kwale operations.
Thanks, Tim. I know that the month of August is a big month for Beige Resources. You put out some financial results. Don't you want to share some of the key highlights that came out of that announcement?
Yeah, I mean, we had another very successful year with profit level very similar to the FY 2019 year. A bit over $100 million EBITDA US dollars and around $40 million net profit. So we had lower production but higher prices and ended up with roughly the same result, which was a good outcome. We finished the year with quite a significant cash balance. It was a bit over 87 million US net cash. And that's enabled us to make our maiden dividend determination. So we'll be paying 3.5 cents Australian per share, which on the basis of the share price before we announced it, it's about a 15 or 16% yield.
Wow,
So quite a significant step, and for us, it's a really strong message to the market that while we've been very focused on delivering returns to shareholders through share price appreciation, and we always had the intention of becoming a dividend payer in due course, we've kind of cut across now to having two tracks for value return to shareholders. One is through appropriate dividends and cash distributions, and the other is continuing with our growth strategy. So it's a new paradigm for us as we move forward from here.
Excellent, Tim. It's a good story coming from Base Resources, and I look forward to tracking that as you move forward. So lastly, Tim, I mean, you've gone through the motion of building a mine in Kenya from scratch. You're looking to do the same in Madagascar. What would your advice be, Tim, to other juniors looking to develop portfolios in the regions?
Yeah, I mean, one of the absolutely critical success factors, I think, is being able to bring your community alongside very early in the process and focus on establishing what we call internally a felt fair exchange of mutual benefit. It's not corporate social responsibility or anything like that. This is actually central to your success, is having a community that has a felt fair participation in the project. And one of the other things that we often see is companies coming in, and the path of least resistance early on is to promise life-changing consequences for the community in a positive sense. And the real discipline needs to be in being realistic, because communities' expectations start high and they just get higher. And if you go in with that sort of path of least resistance, you soon discover that idea of what benefit should look like has run away from you, and you're never going to be able to bring that back. And that's an enormous number of projects have run into difficulty because of that. And the other thing is the importance of being present in the country. Like in the early days of us in Kenya, I would have spent half the year in country for a number of years. Because you need to be in front of the people that you're looking to work with as far as developing their mineral resources. You need to touch and feel the community. I remember speaking at a Sydney Mining Club presentation a number of years ago, and asked a similar question. What would you say to the CEOs of junior mining companies? I said, if you're going to start building a project like this from scratch in Kenya or anywhere else, you need to fully expect to spend half of your life there. And because if you don't, you're going to find it pretty difficult to be really successful, in my experience. So, but if you do those things and you bring the community along, and you have the government thinking about you as a supportive development partner with fiscal terms that are balanced for both sides, they're pretty important ingredients.
Brilliant. Tim, thank you. That's great advice from an expert in the region. And as always, it's been really great to connect with you to get an update on how the company is tracking and to see what's going to happen exciting moving forward. So thank you, as always, Tim, for your time. It's been great to...
Thanks very much.
Awesome. Take care.
Bye.
Cheers.